Hey, good morning guys. Thanks again for watching. Real quick, I just wanted to go over another one of my favorite workouts or tools, I guess, tricks. This one's really cool because it targets a lot of different muscle groups. And it's kind of like a full body blast that you can incorporate again at the end of a set or routine, like if you watch the warm-up video, you can incorporate this in there, and again it's really beneficial and targets a lot of your muscle groups. So it incorporates the deadlift. You can do a variation which incorporates the squat. You can do a military press or a back arm or tricep extension, and then you have these forward raises, which we'll do here in a second, which targets will activate your core, it'll hit your shoulders, and then of course the upper pec when you get here. So here, this is kind of what it looks like without weights. So you'll start from this position holding the weight, you'll come up, you'll either do your tricep extension or you'll do your military press, and then you'll bring it back down. And then from here, depending on what you're holding, if you've got 2 dumbbells, you can easily come into a squat, drop down and knock out your squat, or if you're holding the 1 dumbbell, it's really easy to just go into a deadlift. Just lift and come back up. So here's what that actually looks like with weights. First off, I'm gonna start off with doing a single weight. Start off small. It's easy, especially on this first portion here when you're lifting in front of you. It's easy to get hurt or injure yourself if you're not prepared for the weight. So, and if you're feeling spunky, you can certainly knock out a couple more of these, because you're gonna feel like with the squats and the tricep extensions, you can certainly do more of those than you can this forward raise right here that targets your shoulders and your core. This right here is the hardest part of this workout. When you get here, you can knock out your military press, do a couple of those, again, come down, and then your deadlift. And here's more for the squat variation, but same movements basically. You're gonna come up, you're gonna drop down and do tricep extension or military press. You're gonna come back down and do your squat. That simple. If you guys have questions about form, please hit me up, leave a message, send me a message, comments, likes, whatever. But if you do have a question about forms, it's really easy because there's so many movements on this, it can be easy to kind of mess things up or feel like, oh man, that didn't feel good on my back or my shoulders, my squats, my knees, whatever. So make sure, I would practice doing it without weight and then run through it maybe a couple times with very small weight. And the thing here is when you're doing it, because you're going to notice what muscle groups are activating as you're doing some of these movements, and so you're going to realize how to isolate those and make sure you're concentrating and flexing and really utilizing those muscle groups specifically. And then when you transition, make sure you do a safe transition. So when you get here and you do your tricep extensions, make sure you got your lats activated a little bit for stability to holding the dumbbells above your head, and then make sure you got good form here, so your elbows aren't cocked way out or doing something weird. Make sure you got good form. And then same thing when you do your military press. Make sure you have your back, your lats activated for support, and come down, activate that chest, and push up. And then same thing, the trick here, coming up and down, especially as you do it multiple times, you're gonna notice the fatigue, so don't try to do crazy amounts of sets. As you come back down, that transition is gonna be tricky. Your shoulders, because you're going from a back stabilizing muscles here, to shoulder muscles here, to then core as you come back down. So activating the core, shoulder, back, and blast it all. Same thing with the deadlift. A lot of people complain because the deadlift is hurting their back. Make sure when you come up from the deadlift, and even when you're hanging here at the bottom, you're clenching your butt cheeks. That's what we're working here. When you come back up, it might sound crude, but you want to imagine you're humping the air in front of you. So you got your deadlift or your weights, you come down. You don't want to use your lower back. You want to squeeze your butt cheeks, squeeze your back legs, and come up. And come up, using your hips, thrusting forward, and really activating your booty. So that's one of my favorites. I really like it. Like I said, I like throwing it in the middle of the workout. So not necessarily by itself, but man, if you're doing upper body and you want to throw that in there to just activate and get your heart rate going, great tool. Again, if you're doing lower body and you're focusing on your squats and your deadlifts, you can certainly throw that in as well to get your heart rate going, and you're still targeting some of those muscle groups. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, please leave comments, like the video, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. See you guys later.